I'm here at AUSA 2015 with Sean Ridley, Program Manager Light Tactical Vehicles for GDOTS. We're standing beside a selection of Flyer light tactical vehicles. Sean, could you perhaps talk us through the three variants and explain the differences between them, please?
Sure. The first variant that we're looking at here is a lightweight tactical vehicle for a V-22 internal transport. This vehicle is part of a SOCOM program for the V-22 ITV program, currently under a combat evaluation with SOCOM. What they've done is taken the vehicle through a variety of mobility operations and flight operations where they take the vehicle over a SOCOM mission profile, they run it through various mission sets on ground, then they transfer the vehicle over to a flight configuration and take the vehicle on several flights in the same configuration.
And so the ITV variant is a Flyer 60. What does the 60 in the designation mean?
The Flyer 60 is a part of a family of vehicles that we've got. We've got two main variants. Both of them are programs of record with SOCOM. One is the Flyer 60, which is a 60-inch wide vehicle that is purpose-built for internal transport in the V-22. The second one is a Flyer 72 that goes in the CH-47. This variant is the Flyer 60, and its designation is 60 inches wide, so it can fit in the V-22 Osprey.
So this is the Flyer 72. Could you perhaps just go through some of the differences for us between the Flyer 60 and the Flyer 72, and perhaps outline some of the specialties of this particular variant, please?
The Flyer 72, the main differences between the Flyer 60 are the width of the frame. The Flyer 60 is 60 inches. The Flyer 72 is 72 inches wide. The Flyer 72 allowed us to get a little wider and a little taller to get the 95th and 98th percentile Marine or user inside the vehicle for the SOCOM requirement. This variant goes inside the CH-47 or externally outside of the CH-47. It can be underslung. So the Flyer 72 is a very unique vehicle, and its payload to weight ratio is tremendous. We carry more than 1-to-1 payload to weight ratio, and which allows us to carry over 5,000 pounds of payload on a vehicle that itself weighs 5,000 pounds. And this is a groundbreaking capability that really has not been done before in a lightweight tactical vehicle market. Our range and mobility is increased by the use of the General Motors engine and transmission that allows us to grow over mission profile and get the range out of the vehicle with the payload that we have on the vehicle.
So what makes this particular vehicle unique in its segment?
Well, our payload to weight ratio and our range make us very unique. We're breaking new ground here with our capability to payload the vehicle. Our payload to weight ratio is above a 1-to-1 payload to weight ratio. We're carrying more payload than the vehicle weighs itself. And at the same time, we're increasing our range by the utilization of the General Motors drivetrain. So we're able to have a lightweight vehicle and carry over 5,000 pounds of payload on the vehicle inside the aircraft, which allows the SOCOM mission to be completed in accordance with their requirements.
And is there commonality between the driveline of the Flyer 72 and the Flyer 60, and are they indeed based on the same chassis?
The Flyer 60 and the Flyer 72 share the exact same engine, the exact same transmission, steering components, and electronics for both vehicles. They share the both same shocks, the same tires, the same body panels, and the same seats on both platforms. The only thing that's different in the two is the width of the chassis and the body panels that have to be that are obviously in a 60-inch wide versus a 72.
So is this particular vehicle here as it stands now, is this GMV 1.1 configuration?
This is the GMV 1.1 configuration. The only difference is we have a 30mm weapon up top, which is in response to the Army's lightweight reconnaissance vehicle. So as it sits here, it is a GMV 1.1. The 30mm is up top to demonstrate the capability in response to the LRV requirement. But in a GMV configuration, we support a Mark 44, Gal 19, 50 cal, Mark 46, Mark 47, all of the conventional components out of the U.S. Army and the SOCOM requirements for all of the main weaponry.
And is the LRV requirement, is that a program of record at this particular moment in time?
No, it's not a program of record. There's been some sources sought requests for information put out about an armored variant with six crew inside with the 30mm capability up top.
And this is another Flyer 72. Could you perhaps talk us through the differences between this Flyer 72 and the Flyer 72 beside it, which is GMV 1.1 configuration?
Yeah, this is a Flyer 72, our ground mobility vehicle for the U.S. Army, which is the formal program of the ultralight combat vehicle. So what we've done is taken a variant, the 72 Flyer 72 base vehicle variant, taken all of the soft, unique components, all of the armor, all of the C4 communication, the doors, the side boxes, and taken all of those items off and added 2 seats and the roll cage and made it into the ground mobility vehicle for the U.S. Army offering.
And is that a program of record?
It is not a program of record. The Army's released two RFIs. We responded to the second RFI last week. We turned our RFI in, where they asked for 9 seats, 9 guys with seats and seatbelts on one platform, and this is the vehicle that we offered and filled out the RFI for.
And are there any differences automotively, structurally, between this and the GMV 1.1 Flyer 72 for SOCOM?
No, the great thing about being able to offer this Flyer 72 GMV for the Army is that it shares all of the components out of our other 2 variants, which is the SOCOM Flyer 72 and the ITV, and it shares the commonality of the engine, the transmission, the suspension, the steering. All of those components are unique to this family of vehicles. They all share the same thing. So this variant, the ground mobility vehicle for the Army, has the benefit of those components as well. So the Army doesn't have to go out and procure a vehicle that's something that's got to be developed. All of that development is being done by SOCOM on GMV 1.1.
And so what separates Flyer from its competitors?
Well, we are a lightweight, highly mobile military vehicle, and that we never want to compare ourselves to an ATV class of vehicles. We're not in that category. We're not a JLTV. We are a lightweight, highly mobile military vehicle. And I think the separation for us is our ability to carry a tremendous amount of payload on a vehicle that is very highly mobile and provides a tremendous amount of capability and configurability for the users through a spectrum of having a full family of vehicles.
And in conclusion, Sean, could you summarize for us the current contracts and requests for information that Flyer and its variants are currently involved in?
Sure. The Flyer 60 ITV is currently undergoing its finalization of their evaluation. They'll be doing a draft of their after-action report, and we'll be going through briefings here shortly in the next month or so of their after-actions. The Flyer GMV 1.1 for SOCOM is currently getting ready to go into the low-rate initial production, where we will build the next 91 vehicles and start delivering those to SOCOM coming here in January. The ULCV for GMV, formerly ULCV for the U.S. Army, we just responded last week to the second RFI response for that program, and we are participating the week of October 20th, up in Canada to a ultralight combat vehicle that is similar to the U.S. Army's for the Canadian Ministry of Defense.
And presumably there are some other opportunities around the world that you may be looking at that you may or may not be able to talk of?
We are responding to a couple other international inquiries about the vehicles, both ITV and our Flyer 60 and Flyer 72s